Hello, Steve Fletcher here, and I hope you're okay. Welcome to another edition of My Favourite Things. Before we get started, you know what's coming, and let's have a little like of this video, and please hit that subscribe button. I guarantee you it will take you seconds to do it. It will do nothing for you. Well, it won't do you any harm anyway. But for me, it means that I can continue trying to make a living out of these videos, which cost you nothing to watch. So it's just a nice bit of karma floating around the universe. Okay, now we're going controversial. We've had a couple of episodes already that have been fairly straightforward, nothing too scandalous. But just to prove what a badass I am, today we are going to discuss covers which are better than the originals. Everyone knows the internet is literally for you to get mad and angry and disagree and comment. I've got to comment. That's what the internet is for. Good. Okay? So if you don't agree, it's all good. All right? It's my list. It's all in the eye of the listener, the ear of the listener. Truth is in the ear of the beholder, or some stuff like that. So, let's get started. Right, first up on my list, this one is really going to hit home with my other half, who is a monumental Simon and Garfunkel fan. We're going to talk about the song America, which was originally done by Simon and Garfunkel, but it was then subsequently covered by progressive rock group Yes. Now, as you would expect from such a monumentally amazing progressive rock band as Yes, they put their own spin on it. Quite a bit of their own spin on it. And this is the thing that, for me, makes it just a step above the original. I can't knock Simon and Garfunkel at all, So what Yes did is, of course, they went full prog. They added various different elements. I mean, I'm a massive prog fan anyway. They added massive different elements to it, different time signature changes, different rhythmic patterns, different styles of music. There's a moment in the middle of it where they go full country and western. That you can almost hear the Telecasters twanging out of the speakers. And all of these differences just mean that it gets on to my list. All right, next we're going to talk about A Little Help from My Friends. Now again, we're sort of stepping into territory that's a little bit forbidden. Obviously, the original version was done by the Beatles on the Sgt. Pepper album, and for many people, that is, the holy grail of albums. Often included on lists as one of the greatest albums ever made. I ain't going to go anywhere near it. It's a phenomenal achievement by a band. And it does feature A Little Help from My Friends, and there's nothing wrong with it, But what it is this sort of lovely little Beatles-esque ditty, very inoffensive pop song. Great. Sung by Ringo. Great. Have fun. What Joe Cocker did on his cover version is he literally turned it into a different song. He brought a structure to it which wasn't there on the original. He had this lovely introduction to it, and then it builds to this great, guitar part in the chorus. It really does become a different song, almost to the point where you just think, well, why didn't he just put some of his own lyrics on there and just create his own song? Because it really is that different. And for those reasons, it gets on my list of covers that are better than the originals. Now, this next one is a little bit out of left field. I first heard this song as a cover. This song it's called The Book of Love, and it's a fabulous song. I first heard the cover version, which was originally done by one of my all-time idols, Peter Gabriel. He did this on his cover album. He did a duo of cover albums called Scratch My Back, I'll Scratch Yours. And then what he did is he also, and this is where I first heard it, is he did a concert with an orchestra. The song on that live album is absolutely beautiful. It really is. It almost becomes like a little hymn. You could hear it being done, in a church somewhere. It's absolutely beautiful with the orchestra there. The original version done by a band called Magnetic Field. Is a very, almost Simon & Garfunkel, very plain, oh, that sounds horrible to say, a very plain, strummy, da-da-da song. And nothing too phenomenal about it. It becomes something else when Peter Gabriel does it. And for that reason, it goes on my list of covers that are better than the original. Okay, we're kind of getting into the obvious now. I'm going to go with Hallelujah by Jeff Buckley. Hallelujah was originally by Leonard Cohen. An absolutely wonderfully written song. For me, I'm going to get really scandalous now. Leonard Cohen is one of those artists who has written some incredible songs, but is not the best performer of them. And these songs, you know, when other artists cover his songs, they immediately become something else. Jeff Buckley's version, of course, we're looking back on Jeff Buckley's version now with this tinge of tragedy, because it was featured on the only album that Jeff Buckley released in his lifetime, the astonishing Grace album. And so we kind of look back at it now with this sort of tragic look of this artist that never, you know, got to appreciate the success that they received after their death. But irrespective of that, it is a phenomenal version of a song. It's a little bit of a shame, actually, that Jeff Buckley is, in the broader sense, Jeff Buckley is only remembered as being the guy who sang Hallelujah. If you've not taken the time to listen to the Grace album, I really advise you to do so. It's a brilliant, brilliant album. Hallelujah is just one of many brilliant, brilliant songs that Jeff Buckley gave to us in his short career. And finally, we are looking at the Massive Attack song, Teardrop. Again, this is a wonderful song. All of these songs, the original versions, are wonderful. So before you get your knickers in a twist too much, I'm not stating that any of these original versions aren't very good, because they all are. The Massive Attack version of Teardrop is phenomenally good. It's almost like a Zen-like state when you listen to this song, and I do believe it was used for a couple of series of the television program House MD, and it works incredibly well. What Newton Faulkner did on his cover version, which just makes it that little bit better, is he brought a little bit more structure to it. The Massive Attack version is brilliant, but it kind of stays at the same chilled out level all the way through. When Newton Faulkner does it, he starts it off low, him and an acoustic guitar, and it steadily builds to a full electric band version, and he adds some incredible harmonies that aren't featured on the original, vocal harmonies that aren't featured on the original version. It's also worth noting, and this is one of the reasons why this gets on my list, is when Newton Faulkner performs it, he performs it completely solo, but with some really cool guitar percussion, drumming on the guitar, chord work on the guitar, hammer-ons and pull-offs. It's one of those moments, like I've talked about previously, where it's almost hard to believe that that's one person playing all of that. So it's a great little addition to my list. So there we go, boys and girls. Thank you ever so much for taking the time to watch this little video. If you disagree with any of mine choices, then that's fine. Just send me some examples. The worst thing that's going to happen is I'm going to have to go and listen to some great music. So there you go. Thanks ever so much. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you next time.